We are going to review for the next test, which has to do with circles. What are the minor arcs of circle O? We have AB, BC, CD, and DA. Those are all the minor arcs. They require 2 points only. Let's go ahead and identify the semicircle. Remember that a semicircle is a measurement, or it measures 180 degrees. You want a semicircle that contains C. So your semicircles ACB, ACB, or BCA. Remember, a semicircle is half a circle. Arc ADB is a major circle, or major arc, I want to say. Segment AB or segment BA is a minor arc, and it's going to be 115. To find the circumference of a circle, the formula is pi times d. The measurement of the radius is equal to 18 inches. So the measurement of the diameter is 36. So your answer is the circumference is equal to 36 pi inches. For this problem, we're going to find the length of the major arc YPX. So we know it's going to be the ratio. We have 360, so it's going to be 250 times pi times the length of the diameter. So that's going to be, the zeros cancel, so you're left with 25 over 36 times pi. Now the radius is 12 meters, so the diameter is going to be 24, so it's times 24 meters. Find the length of the major arc YPX, and we know that since this is 90, the major arc is going to be 270 out of 360 degrees times pi times d. This represents the circumference, and this represents the fraction that we want. Okay? We know that 270 divided by 360 simplifies to 27 over 36, which reduces to 3 over 4, times pi times 24. We know that 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. So the distance of this arc, and we say major arc, is going to be 18 pi meters. And it did say to leave it in terms of pi. Find the area of the shaded portion of the figure, and we know that it appears to be a trapezoid. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find the area of the trapezoid, and then find the area of the circle, and then I have to subtract the 2. So here's a formula for the area of a trapezoid. So you have A is equal to 1/2. Base 1 is 8 plus 9 times the height. Well, you know that this is 8. This is 4, and this is 4. So together it's going to be 8. So let's go ahead and figure out the area. So I get 68 units squared. So now I got to find the area of the circle, which is going to be area is equal to pi, the radius, and then we have to square it. So it's going to be pi, radius squared is going to be 4 squared, which gives you 16 pi. So you have to subtract both of these. So you're going to have to subtract, to find the shaded region, you have to subtract the area of the trapezoid minus the area of the circle. So it's going to be 68 minus 16 pi. And this is square units, or units squared, right? 13, find the area of a sector with a central angle of 160. So here's my circle, and here is my radius. The diameter is 6.4. My central angle is 160. So that's 160. So to find the area of the sector, you got to tell me the fractional part of that area, which is 160 degrees out of 360, times pi times the radius. In this case, the radius will be half, which is 3.2. So it's 3.2 squared. So you have to figure it out approximately what is it going to be. So we're going to use our calculator. So I have 160 over 360 times pi times 3.2 squared, which gives you approximately, it says round to the nearest tenth, so it's 14.3 units squared. Determine the area of a sector AOB is 182.25 pi square feet. Find the exact area of the shaded region. So we're looking for this part, and we already have the area of the sector, or it's 182.25 pi square feet. And when they say you want to find the exact area, that means you have to leave it in terms of pi. So this is 27 feet, this is 27 feet. So the area of the triangle is base times height divided by 2. What I mean by base, it's the measurement of the base, so it's going to be 27 feet times 27 feet, and then you're dividing by 2. So you have 27 times 27, and then you divide by 2. So it's 182.25 pi feet squared. You subtract 729 over 2 square feet. If you want to leave it as a decimal, it'd be 182.25 pi square feet minus 720 divided by 2, which is 364.5 square feet. 15, find the radian measure of an angle of negative 220. So it's negative 220 times pi over 180 degrees. So you have negative 220 divided by 180, which is going to be 22 over 18, which simplifies to negative 11 over 9 pi. Find the radian measure of 200 degrees. So it's 200 times pi over 180. The zeros cancel. And we know that 20 and 18 is divisible by 2. So you have 10 pi over 9. So it's 10 pi over 9. 16, we're going to convert that to degrees. So we have 6 pi over 5 times 180 over pi. The pi's cancel. So you have 6 times 180 divided by 5. So it's 216. It's 216 degrees. Number 18, find the degree measure of negative 2 pi over 3. So you have negative 2 pi over 3 times 180 over pi. The pi's become 1. 180 divided by 3 is 60. 180 divided by 3 is 60, so this will convert to a negative 120 degrees. It says, use a given circle, find the length of S to the nearest tenth. Remember that theta, or radians, is the ratio of the arc length over the radius measurement. So theta equals S over R. In this case, we have 4 pi over 5 is equal to the arc length, which we don't know, over 2 centimeters. We have to find it to the nearest tenth, so we're going to be multiplying. 5 times S is 5S is equal to 2 times 4, which gives you 8 pi centimeters. And then we divide by 5. So it's going to be 8 pi divided by 5, 5.02. So S equals 5.02 centimeters, approximately. Oh, tenth. So it's 5.0. So knock out the 2, it's 5.0. A Ferris wheel has a radius of 30 feet. So here's a Ferris wheel. It has a radius of 30 feet. We have 2 cars, and they are 120. The central angle is 125. And it's asking what is the length of the intercepted arc. So it's 125 degrees over the fraction of the entire circle, which is 360. And since you're trying to find distance, you're actually going to have to find circumference. So it's going to be times pi times d. So it's going to be 125 over 360 times pi. And the radius is 30 feet. So the diameter is 60 feet. So you got to multiply by 60. So the distance between the 2 cars is 65.4 feet. A low wattage radio station can be heard only within a certain distance from the station. On the graph below, the circular region represents the part of the city where the station can be heard, and the center of the circle represents the location of the center, which equation represents the boundary. So I already graphed it in Desmos. I encourage you to use the Desmos. It's really easy to do these problems with Desmos. So we want, we're going by 2, so this is 2, this is 2, this is 4, -4, and this is -6, and I went down 1. So there is a center, and there is a center. What is the measurement of the radius? Well, it's going to be 1, 2, so it's 4. So remember that if the radius is 4, then in the equation, you have to square this. So 4 squared is going to be 16. So automatically you know that the answer has to be either C or D. So I'm going to try the first one. So we have x minus 6, and we're going to square it, plus y minus 1, and we're going to square it. We're going to square it, and it's equal to, we said, 16. Well, that's not in the right location. So we're going to have to definitely have plus 1. See how it goes down? And then this will have to be plus 6. And there it is. So our answer is actually D. Answer is D. 23, write the standard equation of a circle. Here is the center, -2, 5. And what's the radius? 5. Remember in our equation, and I'm going to go ahead and write it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared, the radius measurement squared. So if you look at 5 is going to have to be squared, so you know that the answer is not B and it's not D. So it's between A and B. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. So right now my circle isn't in the right location. We want it to be up here, the center. It's at -2, 5. So it's either going to be A or it's going to be B. So let me write x minus 5 and y plus 2. That is in the location. So now we're going to go ahead and type x plus 2, and then we have y minus 5. And there it is. So your answer is A. Your answer is A. Find the center of the radius of a circle with this equation. So it's -2, oh, it's not plus 5, it's going to have to be -5. And see, that's the center. And from the center to the edge here, it's going to be 9. So which one has -2, -5, and 9? The answer is D. And if you had to, these are wrong answers, automatic wrong answers. And so your only answer is D. 25, name the major arc and find its measure. Well, the major arc is not AB. It isn't 50. Actually, the major arc is ADB or BDA. And since the central angle is 50, you have to subtract 50 from 360, you get 310, and that's going to be the answer. It's C. Find the area of the shaded portion of the figure. Each vertex of the square is at the center of the circle. Leave your answer in terms of pi. So this distance is 4. So this distance has to be 2. So if from here to here is 2, and this is 1 inch, and this is 1 inch, this is 1 inch, this is 1 inch, this is 1 inch, inches, or just 1 inch, and that's 1 inch, and that's 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is, I know that the length of the square is actually 2 inches by 2 inches. So the area of the square is 2 inches times 2 inches, which is equal to 4 inches squared. This right here is a fourth of a circle. This right here is a fourth of a circle. This right here is a fourth of a circle. And this right here is a fourth of a circle. Well, if you add up all those parts together, that's actually a full circle. So I got to find the area of a circle with a radius of 1. Well, that's pi r squared. So it's going to be pi 1 times 1. So it's just pi. Pi inches squared. So how do you find the area that's right here? You have to subtract the area of the circle from the area of the square. So what you have is 4 minus pi. So that little area is 4 minus pi inches squared. 4 minus pi inches squared. So just to review, I figured out the measurement of each of these lengths, which is 1 inch. and together it's 2 inches. So to find the area of this smaller square, it's going to be 4 inches squared. I notice that there's a 1/4 of a circle in this square, so that makes 1 circle. So I just have to find the area of a circle with a radius of 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So you subtract this area and you subtract this area, and that's going to be the area in the green. Find the area of the shaded region. Leave your answer in terms of pi. This is a full circle, but we don't want the full circle. We want this part that's shaded without the segment. So what I did first is I figured out the major arc and its area. So the major arc is 300. So the area that I want that's here, that sector, is 120 pi meters squared. It's going to be 300 out of 360 times pi. The radius is 12. So it's 120 pi. And then I try to figure out the area of that triangle, which is a 60, 60, 60. It's an equilateral triangle. So the base is 12 meters. The height is 6 square root of 3. So you multiply these two. And so the area that's in that triangle is 36 square root of 3 meters squared. And then you just have to add both areas. Write the standard equation of a circle in the graph. So the center, and be careful because it's going by twos. So it's going to be 2, 3. So it's 3 comma negative 2. And you notice that it's going to be 1, 2. So the distance of the radius is 3. So remember, I'm going to go ahead and graph it. I have 3, negative 2. So that's where the radius is. So, the center is. So now, remember that the radius is 3. So it's going to have to be 3 squared, which is 9. So that tells you that I can eliminate C and D. So you notice you have 3. So if I do plus 3, and then I have minus 2, that's not going to be it. So it's going to be plus 2 and minus 3. So that's going to be the answer. Okay, so the answer is B. Number 30 is not hard. Remember, when the equation is at the center, it's x squared plus y squared. Okay, it's 0, 0. It's 0, 0, and it's negative 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it's 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's 8, 3. So to find the radius measurement, r squared equals 8 squared plus 3 squared. So r squared equals 8 squared, which is 64, plus 9, which is 73. So it's just equal to 73. That would be the equation. Find the center of the radius of the circle, right? Radius of the circle with the equation. 2, negative 2. So you have negative 2, 2. Remember, it's always going to be opposite, so it's over here. Negative 2, 2. And it's going to be square root of 36, which is 6. 32, remember it says that when it says that the center is at the origin, when the center is at the origin, it's going to be 0, 0. When it has x squared plus y squared equals 100, that means that this is going to be the center is at the origin. The 100, remember, is the radius squared. So to give us 100, it has to be, the radius has to be 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. So you have 8, 10, 10, 10, 10. That's a distance, right? So there is our circle. And the radius is 10 units, okay?